the stage to from the stage to the mind of the spectator, because the vasanas are in the spectator. The vasanas are not in the actor. The actor, as I told you yesterday, has given up his or her character, his or herself. And as I said yesterday, that this was the major problem that the Christian fathers had with the Greek theatre. And that is why Jerome and all these people said, no, theatre is wrong. Because you're giving up your own original self and taking up another image. So this was the problem with them. But in theatre, unless you give up your own character totally and enter another character, you will not be able to create. You see how different philosophies have different expressions and how they influence every art and every life. So, here it is the self, myself and my vasana which has become an important factor. In the Rasa Sutra, they are just talking of sthai bhavas. But the sthai bhavas are not simply in the actor. When we come to the next commentator, this question will become very important. The next commentator will raise this question, that how can you enact somebody who existed hundreds or thousands of years ago, whom you have not even seen? See, this question will be raised by the next. In this way, he can said to have initiated an inquiry as to who really experiences rasa. So here, the question comes up for the first time. Who is really experiencing? Is it the actor only, or is it this spectator only? Because once you say that these sthai bhavas are in the vasana, then the vasana, the deep psychological experience, and in the Hindu construct from this life to the last life, that also comes into play. Because you don't believe in one lifetime, you believe in several lifetimes, and you are a product of your earlier karmas, etc. So your vasanas have got transmitted. So there is another dimension to it, that vasanas of the spectator hence become extremely important in experience of the sthai rasa. For him there is experience of rasa by the actor, just as there is rasa in the character as well. So it is the sthai rasa experienced by the actor, sthai rasa by the audience. The next major acharya who comes up with a total contradiction of Lollat is called Shankuk. And Shankuk says something. Let us quote him. By the instrument of vibhavas and the actual actions of anubhavas, as well as by the complementary vyabhicharis, the artificial efforts made by the actors, artificial means created in part of performance, which are not natural in the outside world, natya dharmi. Such efforts as do not seem to be artificial. See? He makes this quality. They should not look as if they are artificial, yet they are artificial. Natya dharmi should not appear as nonsense, as too far-fetched. It should be convincingly real, and yet it is not real, because it's not what is played out, seen outside the theatre. The sthai bhav is inferred to be located in the actor now. This man says is not seen, is inferred. He says, how can I know the bhava of a person? What is in his or her heart? I cannot. I can only infer it to be there by the gestures. If the person is shedding tears, then I infer that you are in pain. If you are laughing, then I infer that you are happy. Because your experience is your experience, mine is mine experience. One consciousness cannot experience another person's consciousness. So for Shankuk, they are philosophers. The sthai bhava is inferred pratiyamanaha, pratiti. It appears to be, and hence it is inferred. Is located in the actor by the force of signs, because the actor is making certain signs, and signs that lead to a cause. Now he has taken this language from Nyaya, and he uses the word linga balataha. Ling means a sign which has a language. So if you see smoke, then you infer that there is fire, because there cannot be smoke without fire. If there is smoke somewhere, there has to be. So by linga balata, that is by seeing the signs like tears in the eyes of the natta, and therefore you infer that there is sorrow. This sthai bhava is an imitative rendering. He creates another dimension now. He says this sthai bhava is an imitative rendering, anukarana rupaha, of the sthai bhava present in the hearts of main characters like Ram and others. What he is saying is this: how do I know what Ram felt? He is somewhere in history or not in history, only in Kavya. Even if he was there yesterday, how would I know? How would I know the sthai bhava of Ram? Yes, I have read that he was very sad when Sita was abducted. But I cannot experience, I cannot know the bhava of the original character. So, what does the actor do? He only does an imitation of the sthai bhava. Anukarana rupaha. He cannot create the emotion of the character. I gave you that very interesting quote yesterday from a play by Christopher Marlowe, Dr. Faustus falling deeply in love with Helen. Is this the face that launched 1,000 ships and burned the topless towers of Ilium? Sweet Helen, make me immortal with a kiss. Now, how does the actor know that this is what Faustus felt? No. He is only doing an imitation of the feeling of Faustus. Faust's feeling is being imitated, anukarana rupa. So, the conclusion then is that in contradiction to what Lollat has said, that sthai bhavaha becomes rasa, sthayitvam, sthayano eva rasatvam apnuvanti, in contradiction to what is said even in the sutra, he says, no, they do not, the sthais do not get converted into rasa. It is the anukarana rupaha, the imitation of the sthai bhava which gets converted into rasa. Now you will say, well, this is just hair splitting. Actually it is not. If you do a philosophic investigation of the whole thing, if you go deeply into human psychology, if you go into performing arts at this level, then these are very relevant questions. Shankuk is right when he says that how can I experience what Rama felt, or how can he or she experience? No, it is a anukarana rupaha. By mimetic rendering, anukarana. And anukarana is what Natya is. Bharat Muni has said it. So Shankuk is well within his rights to say that this is what the Shastra says, anukarana. Natya is lokanu kirtanam, bhavanu kirtanam. So it is an anukarana. Fine. It is actually the anukarana which is giving us rasa. By mimetic anukarana rendering, this sthai bhava is known by the different name rasa. So what he says, that it is not the emotion, the sthai bhava, the emotion and thought, the sthai bhava, but in imitation of that emotion which gets converted into rasa. Well, I don't want to explain it to you because it's not relevant for your purpose. I mean, this is something which I do say in departments of philosophy, that this is what is called in modern language the formalist approach. That art is a wonderful form. Art is creating a form, and you enjoy the form. Beauty lies in the form. It does not lie in what is behind the form. But not anything else except this regarding formalism. So, by mimetic entering anukarana, it is known by, the anukarana is known by a different name. Now let us go into further detail of Shankuk. Shankuk adds that all acting is done on the basis of a written play or kavya. I have not translated those portions, but this is what he says. However, the sthai bhavas are not known, that is, understood or felt or experienced by reading the words. He says that if you just read a play, now you see, this question which came up into discourse in Europe only from 1950s, 60s onwards, was a major issue among Indian aesthetes more than 2000 years ago. What was the issue? What is a play? What is a natak? Is it just a written text? Or is it a performed text of which the written play is a part? Natya is not what Kalidas wrote. The set of words written by Bhas or Kalidas or Shudrak or any other playwright, Shakespeare or Ravindranath Tagore, this is not theatre. Theatre is the total presentation of that performance. And the play, which is called play or drama, the set of written words, is only a part of it. So Shankuk says that by just reading, you do not get sthai bhavas. You will never get even in, because according to him, sthai bhavas in any case are inaccessible. It's only an anukaran of sthai bhavas which is accessible, which the nata or the performer does, in which lies rasa. So for him, just reading the play is rasahina, or is nirasa, without any rasa. This is the position which is taken by Shankuk. On reading words yield only their literal meaning. That is, meaning is fully realized only when communicated through vibhavas. What is more, even through acting or anukaran, the actual sthai bhavas of the characters can never be known. On seeing the acting, the spectator can only infer